So I wasn't sure that I wanted to come on here and share this story just for the simple fact that I struggle with vulnerability. I'm a strong believer in people take your kindness for weakness or take your vulnerability for weakness. And I'm just not that type of person. I didn't want people to think I was coming on here to try to go viral or beg for money. But then I said self, and myself said, girl, this is your story. You're a content creator, so share it. Because what I'm going through, there's a lot of people out in this world who probably don't know what it is or that they're even going through it, just like me. And I figured my story could definitely touch another. So I'm gonna try to make a long story short, but we know how that goes. Just follow with me. I just got home from the hospital. I was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. I was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. AKA MG. So basically what's happening is my immune system is mistakenly attacking the receptors and blocking the nerve signals to my muscles. So my symptoms basically started happening like 7 months ago. The first symptom I actually noticed was my muscle weakness. However, that was not the first symptom I experienced. The first symptom I actually experienced was the nasal change in my voice. Basically, your girl was sounding like Quagmire, no cap, and it was very irritating. However, I have bad allergies, so I thought it was just my sinuses, but then when it lasted a whole 7 months, I'm like, what is going on here? Now, keep in mind, this is a chronic illness. It's something I'm going to have forever. However, it fluctuates. So some days I will wake up and I'll feel okay. Other days I'll wake up and I'll feel like really drained, really can't move, things like that. And first my symptoms started off minor, so I paid no mind to it. About like 2 months after that, I did go to a doctor because I started to realize my muscles were getting a little too weak. Too weak to the point it didn't make sense. I'm talking about like I was getting tired brushing my teeth. Like I couldn't lift my arms to like wash under my arms when I'm in the shower. Like in the morning I'm trying to put on deodorant, I gotta bend over. Like it was starting to get crazy, y'all. However, I went to the doctor and the doctor did some blood work and they was like, well, we don't see anything. Like we don't see diabetes. We don't see nothing in your blood work that says you might have anything. Like we don't see anything. And so I'm thinking like, all right, well, if the doctors don't see anything, maybe I'm just bugging out. And I let it go. Then the symptoms start to progress. Like they started to get even worse. Like again, it still fluctuates. So there was days I'll have some energy, but then other days like I could barely move in the morning. Like I'm talking about like physically had to use one hand to hold up another hand to do certain things. Couldn't like reach over my head. Couldn't like go up and down steps. Like it was literally becoming a struggle, y'all. Then I started to notice other symptoms. I started to have double vision. Now, I do wear glasses, y'all, so y'all know I'm blind. But double vision never really been my issue unless I didn't have on my glasses or something like that. But I'm talking about I was having double vision with my glasses on and it was bad. Like I had to rub my eyes and it wasn't going away. So that started to become another symptom I realized. And then there was a few symptoms that I were having that I didn't even know were symptoms. So I didn't even like really think to say anything because I'm thinking this is just, I don't know. I'm just like, all right, maybe this is just going on. So at this point, I go back to the doctor. Now we're about 4 months in, I want to say, like 4 to 5 months in. I go back to the doctor and I'm telling her like, hey, like these symptoms are still going on. It's not going away. Like something's got to be wrong. I know my body, something's got to be wrong. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I almost cursed my doctor out because when I first went to the doctor, she tried to be funny on some like, oh, well, you know, you are overweight. And try to say that maybe the reason why I was feeling tired or like had muscle weakness. Like, miss, I've been overweight my whole life, okay? I came out the womb thicker than a snicker, okay? So like, let's not go there. And then I also felt like she just really wasn't taking me serious. And I was like, bro, like, what do I gotta do? Fall and crack my head for you to understand like I'm going through something? She did some more deep tests, but she still said she didn't see anything. So she had referred me to go to like a neurologist and a rheumatologist. A neurologist deals more with the brain. Rheumatology is more for like arthritis. She sent me to those specialists. However, this is New York. Like everything is booked up when it comes to these freaking doctors and stuff. Like I couldn't get an appointment until next year. I'm like, bro, by that time I could fall out, pass out, and die, God forbid. So, like, I was not trying to hear that. But I really didn't know what to do, so I was just kind of in limbo at that moment. Like, okay, should I wait or should I go to the emergency room because my symptoms were getting that bad? And by this point, I had already fell a couple times outside in the street, couldn't get myself up. It was bad. I'm gonna tell you 2 incidents where I was like, yeah, I'm going to the hospital. So the first incident, it was around my birthday. My family came over. We had cooked a bunch of food. So I went to go bend down and squat and put the food in the bottom of the fridge. And when I went to go bend down and squat, I literally could not stand back up. Like I couldn't stand back up. I even tried to like put my hand on the counter, try to push myself back. Not happening. My mom and my partner at the time was there, tried to pull me up. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm Big Mama over here, a solid 240. I lost some weight since then, but I was a solid 240 then, and they couldn't pick me up. And it was to the point where I dropped on the floor and I broke down crying. Like, because I'm dealing with this, but I don't know what I'm going through. Like, at this point, I don't know what I'm going through. It's really getting to me. It's like making me depressed because I'm just like, I was a strong girl. I was in a gym. Like, I'm talking about I could lift weights, lift 50 pounds, lift 60 pounds. Like, I was in there. Like, I'm a strong girl. So for me to be a strong girl and then I can't even pick up a 5-pound weight, it didn't make sense in my brain. And I didn't really cope with it. I didn't really deal with it. And when I could not stand back up, I literally broke down crying. And that's when I was like, yeah, something's got to happen. The second incident, like 3 days before I actually went to the hospital, I was running after my dog and I fell back and I hit my head. And I just laid there because I didn't even have the strength to get up. I had no abdominal muscles to sit up. I had no muscles in my body to even like get myself to safety. God forbid anything was happening. And I said, yeah, it's time to go to the emergency room. I had to see a specialist. I went on ZocDoc and I found a rheumatologist. And when I went to this rheumatologist, shout out to her. She's in Queens. I don't know her name, but yeah, she did her thing. And she literally broke down everything I was going through. Like, everything I was going through. I couldn't even believe it because it was symptoms that I was going through and I didn't even know. Like, I was having trouble swallowing because of the muscles in my lungs and my throat. Shortness of breath because the muscles in my lung. I was like, it was just things I was going through that I didn't even know. And that's when she told me that nasal sound in my voice was due to this symptom, was due to this disease. And also my heavy eyes. A lot of times people were looking at me like, yo, you look exhausted. And in my head, I'm just like, what do you talk about? Like, I'm up, I'm ready to go. But my eyes were like heavy, they were low. And to be honest, like, if you look back in some of my videos, you can hear it in my voiceover that I sounded kind of congested. You could see in my content that my eyes were kind of low. Like, and it was really difficult for me. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was really difficult for me, especially like being at work, because I do a lot of physical stuff at work and they're used to me doing stuff physical at work. So now I'm at work and I'm like, yo, I can't pick that up. I can't do this. I can't reach over. Like, I'm feeling weak, da da da. And they looking at me like I'm just being lazy. And it's like, I physically can't do it. But then it's like, I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't even know what I was going through. They're like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. And I feel like that was the hardest part. Not knowing was the hardest part. Not knowing what I was going through. So that ultimately led me to go to the doctor and found out that this is what I was going through. So if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, I encourage you to go check it out because you might be going through this. While I was in the hospital, I was thankful to receive all the love that I did. A lot of people kept asking me, oh, is there anything I could do? Da, 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 da. So I did create a GoFundMe just for the simple fact that I've been out of work for 2 weeks. I live in New York. Rent is high. Bills don't stop if you're in a hospital or not, you feel me? So I did start a GoFundMe to donate, if you guys want to donate, to just help me catch up on bills, because I am going to apply for assistance. However, that can take months to kick in. And yeah, that's really all I'm just trying to do, take it one day at a time. I'm going to be out of work for another month or so due to having to do like physical therapy. And so I hope this story reaches somebody and is able to help another soul. And if you would like to help out and donate, click the link in my bio. Or you can shop on my showcase on TikTok and purchase anything that I will get commission off of. Thank you for watching.